If you've driven the Montana Mountain Loop, or it's also called Forest Service 172, then you know it's a dirt road. It's not a trail. Let me show you a thrilling alternative, an off-road trail that will get you up the mountain to 4,100 feet above sea level, where you intersect with the loop. Today's ride, it involves three different trails that make up this section of the Millsite Canyon Trail. If you like off-road adventures, this is a challenging way up or down the east side of the mountain. We'll have epic climbs with scenic desert views. There's rock crawling with brush trying to rip you out of the seat. This is a real fun road. Oops, correction, trail. It's definitely not a road. If you want to know where this staging area is, as well as most of the trails that we're taking on any of my rides, all you have to do is look below the video in the description, and I've got it all spelled out for you right down there. Super easy. Anyway, this is where we parked, and we're about to take off. This is the beginning of the Montana Mountain Loop. It's still called Hewett Station Bypass, but it's a dirt road. When you first turn on to 1900, it still looks and feels more like a dirt road. But don't worry. The further up you go, the more it deteriorates and the more fun you're going to have, assuming you think this is fun. So for lunch, I wanted to make a left turn off 1900, take 1935 up to the top of the hill. It's a fun climb, great views. Here we go. It's been months since the first time I went up this climb, and Robin was with me, and there was a lot of butt puckering going on. Now I've been up it enough that this is just a lot of fun. Of course, this is Tom's first time up, so I'm hoping he's having a really good time back there. And of course, he's owned 8 Jeeps, several ATVs, UTVs, but at heart he's a Jeepster, which means he's going up this slow and easy. I'll be waiting for him at the top. Tom's slow trail riding skills are going to come in very handy when we get to rock crawling. I think it's going to keep us from breaking our vehicles. So I got out and went a little ways down the trail, and there's Tom coming up the hill and got near me, and it looks like he's having a good time. All right, this is great.
It's a great spot.
So do you know what that hill is over there?
No, but I know what that one is. Picket Post Mountain.
Straight out?
Yeah, the big one right out there. I've ridden a horse all the way around that. It's pretty treacherous in some places. Picket Post Mountain, wonderful. You can get, there's roads that take you behind it, and I think you can get to it.
We finished lunch, drove down from our terrific view. Here we are at the bottom of 1935, about to hang a left on 1900. And this is going to take us back to where the excitement begins. It's a cool 65, maybe 67 degrees day. The wind's blowing. Sky's just gorgeous. Look at those views out there. And my Super ATV flip windshield has been closed all day, and I'm pretty sure it's going to stay that way. It's nice and comfy inside the cab. We got to our first decision. The sign says 1900 goes left, but the map says it dead ends at Peacock Springs. Now, last time I was here, we went right, and according to the map, this will take us all the way up to Montana Mountain Loop Road, and we'll be around 4,100 feet. So we decided to go that way, because that was the plan. And as soon as we made the turn, there's a Jeep parked up here. He's even got road tires on this. I'm impressed. It wasn't far after this that we found who was in the Jeep. It was, I think, 5 people that were out for a hike. All right, we're finally getting to the part where the dirt road is definitely starting to look more and more like a trail. And you'll notice how everything is closing in, whether it's the rocks down at the road level or the brush along the side of the road. This is where having someone driving at a Jeep speed makes perfect sense. And I can't see Tom's face, but I did later. He is having a great time. So this is where we turned around the last time I came up this trail. I took one look at how the brush was closing in and all the rocks we'd already come through, and having met a motorcyclist that was on foot, because he had crashed his bike and broken the crankcase. The oil was pouring out. He told me the rocks were terrible up ahead, and I'm not a fan of rock crawling. Well, Tom is, and he's in front, so I figure he'll help me pick a great line. I said, all right, let's do it. When I turned around the last time I was on 1900, my friend Gary, the Canadian with the 50-inch Can-Am trail, he wanted to go up this so bad, and I told him I did not want to do the rock crawling or deal with the brush. Well, today, with Tom leading at that slow pace, it's working out very well. Will I ever come back again? I don't know, but I am having fun. I hate to admit it, but it's true. I'm having a good time. Tom's machine sure has a lot of articulation. Do you see how far those wheels stretch down and the body just stays almost level? That's amazing. I don't know how steep that off-camber is up ahead, but from here, it sure looks good. And both machines made it look and feel pretty easy, although I gotta admit, going faster was much more fun. Every now and then we'd kind of come out of the brush around a turn and just look at the views. These things are amazing. The brush on this trail could definitely use a trim. Pretty sure it's not going to get one. So every time I thought we were going too slow on this trail, I would see something happening up front, sometimes like this, which convinced me Tom really was doing the right speed for this trail. If we were going at the pace I wanted, I'm pretty sure there would have been damage. Thanks, Tom. So keep in mind, there are some flatter, smoother sections throughout this trail. But you just never know. All of a sudden, it changes. And if you're doing speed, you may not have time to stop before damage. Remember I told you the story of the walking motorcyclist after crashing on the rock somewhere up here? Pretty sure he was going a little too fast at a moment where he shouldn't have been. It took us almost 2 hours to get through this trail. I was quite surprised. Occasionally, I would stop to mess around with the camera gear, change the battery, do something. And that would allow Tom to continue on and get a little distance, which allowed me to pick up some speed, being aware if I made a mistake, it could cause a lot of damage. Well, I was having fun speeding along, and by speeding, I really wasn't going very fast, not in these conditions. But I finally caught up to Tom just in time for this view. Look at that. This trail is crazy. There is not a very long stretch before you're going to encounter some obstacles that are going to try to hurt your vehicle. But you can sure have fun going through it. Just ask Tom. Tom, we're still on 1900 heading towards the Montana Mountain Loop, but this has been kind of rocky. What do you think?
This is some of the best four-wheeling I've had in decades. And I was in a Jeep club. That trail right there, amazing.
I scraped a couple of times. I'm not happy about the scraping. But I sure had fun.
I don't think I scraped it all, but I definitely had some pucker.
For those of you who've been driving side-by-sides off-road for a long time, some of the stuff that I'm really excited about may seem super easy to you, but keep in mind, my very first time ever driving off-road was only mid-February of 24. So I think that has me approaching 14 months. I'm having a lot of fun out here. It's all a challenge. I do have to admit, though, a lot of it that was butt-puckering type rides before are now just super fun. So, I am progressing. So some of the routes that Tom picked when there were a choice to go around various obstacles, they were either made because he knew I was recording and thought it would look good on the camera, or he was just looking to have a lot of fun. I don't know. Either way, I had a lot of fun. Check this out. Now, one of the great things about following someone through something technical like this is you can see their tire placement, and if you don't want to deal with whatever it was they just did, you can always pick a different route, which is exactly what I did here. So I stayed away from that rock on the driver's side that Tom was having so much fun with, but there were plenty of other rocks out there I even scraped at one point, and it was a pretty loud thud with a scrape, but I got through it. I have to tell you though, when I got home and was cleaning later, there was definitely some new scrapes on my wheels, and of course lots of scrapes on the plastic from going through the brush. Now Tom stopped right after he cleared the big obstacles here and recorded me climbing up through there. Now I've zoomed in and done slow-mo just so you can get an idea of how bouncy it was. And you may even notice that I kicked one rock around pretty good. That was a lot of fun. As we climbed higher, the brush started to thin out and open up the road. It started to get a lot smoother, but there were still challenges. So eventually we got out of all those drainages down in the canyon and got up near the ridge. We're almost to 4,100 feet. Pretty soon we'll be all the way over to Montana Mountain Loop. But look at the vistas up here. And the trail has changed dramatically. I mean, you still got to watch your tire placement because now you can fall off an edge. Look at that scenery. It's time for a quick refresher on two-pedal driving. If you're going down something steep, you want engine braking, you have to have the engine engaged. If there's not enough gas going to the engine, the clutch will disengage and you'll go flying down the hill out of control. So the trick is use the brake to get you to the right speed that you want to go. Apply just enough gas that you can feel the clutch engage, the engine's taking hold. You're going to let off the brake at this point, and as long as you maintain the gas pedal, you're good to go. We're nearing the end of the trail, and soon we'll be on Montana Mountain Loop, a road. And it looks like Tom has decided to take this opportunity to entertain himself and show off his skills, or maybe just figure out what his machine can do. He's only had it for a short time. Well, first he tried 3 wheels, and I guess that just wasn't enough fun. So then he puts it up on its side. I'm not sure what angle that is, but that looks pretty steep. Keep in mind, he's going nice and slow, so he has control. I'm not going to try it today. Once we hit the Montana Mountain Loop, which is a road, it was easy driving all the way back to the staging area. And Tom, well, he got out of his trail driving mode and into I'm on a road. So we made really good time getting back. And I'm not going to bore you with that. Well, that's it for this recording. Use the comment section below if you want to share your experience at this location or maybe recommend an area that you really enjoy. Please keep it clean. I want this to be a family-oriented channel, so review what you type before you submit it. Thanks. I apologize if you happen to hear something during the ride's recording that may not sound family-oriented. I will try very hard not to let certain words slip out during an exciting moment. We'll see how that works. If you found this video helpful or just enjoyed it, please hit the like button below. Share the link with your friends. Be sure to subscribe so you can easily keep up with my latest videos, which will continue to cover things like Segway Villain owner's area of interest, reviews of accessories, where to ride, tips about the Villain, how-to videos, and lots more. Yep, there's going to be more. Thanks for watching.